Hello and welcome everyone, it's Jay Crash here, and today we're going to talk about a film from 1971. It's Peter Bogdanovich's The Last Picture Show. And here's a look at the box cover. It's a film from 1971 that was nominated for Best Picture, and it didn't win that year. The French Connection won. That was a Gene Hackman film. And also a decent film if you want to check it out. But to me, The Last Picture Show is clearly one of the icons of American cinema. It is one of the best films ever made, if certainly one of the best American films ever made. But it's a film that most people don't know about, especially today. But it is still so socially relevant that I highly, highly recommend this film. And today I wanted to take some time to talk about it. Now, Bogdanovich, in my opinion, he made two great films. The other one he made was Paper Moon. That was a Ryan O'Neal and Tatum O'Neal. Tatum O'Neal actually was the youngest person to ever win an Oscar for that film. A great film in and of itself. But to me, The Last Picture Show was his magnus opus, if you will. And if you read the history of Bogdanovich, it's kind of sad how he declined following The Last Picture Show. But needless to say, he made one hell of a classic film here, and it's got a great cast. There were Academy Award nominations out there. There were actually two winners. It won in the two supporting actor classes, the supporting actor and supporting actress. Cloris Leachman, a young Cloris Leachman in the film, won for Best Supporting Actress, and Ben Johnson won for Best Supporting Actor. Oddly enough, young Jeff Bridges was also nominated in the film for Best Supporting Actor, and Ellen Bernstein was nominated also for Best Supporting Actress. So you got a great cast in this film. Sybil Shepherd is in the movie, beautifully stunning Sybil Shepherd. I mean, she is gorgeous, 10 out of 10, and her acting is off the charts. She plays Jacy, the town beauty, and this is really, the story centers around this old, decrepit, dying West Texas or northern Texas town out in the plains where the economies are dwindling. You once had a little bit of industry and some oil, basically jump-started the town, and you have like a movie house and a pool hall and a little diner, and that's about it. And there's not a whole lot of hope in this town, and it's a very symbolic film. And a lot of the critics are going to get into talking about this dying town and how it's a symbolic representation of this dying town. And that is very, very true of this film, and those are all very important themes that run in the film. But I wanted to spend a little more time here talking about the themes of sexuality that run in this film. This is a very, very sexy film. The cinematography in this film is incredible. It's a clash between like a John Ford meets Federico Fellini, okay? And by that I mean this film was made in 1971, so you're coming out of the liberation of the 1960s. Film was evolving into really what to me was the heightened decade, the 70s, the golden decade of film. But it took the time to throw back and explore things from the 1950s. And the story takes place in the 1950s of this town and its youth and its older inhabitants, and how they kind of coexist, and how the future, these youths are embarking on their future, albeit a very bleak one if they stick around in this town. And like I said, Sybil Shepherd plays the young town beauty, Jacy. She's going out with Dwayne, who is played by Jeff Bridges, an awesome performance by Jeff Bridges. So anybody that loves Jeff Bridges, the dude, crazy heart. I mean, you name it. You go down his film list. Hell or High Water, even a more recent film. I mean, he knocks it out of the park in this, in a young role. Even so far as getting the nomination. But he's dating Jacy, but he's pretty rough around the edges. And Jacy's mom is trying to convince her to to explore, dating boys who can help her raise her social status, and so how she is encouraged to use her sexuality to improve her lot in life. And so there's these themes of sexuality that run through this film, and it's just masterful the way Bogdanovich does it. There's these themes of sex as a sort of escapism that the characters partake in. It's a way of fulfilling this emptiness and these voids. And yes, the film is extremely sexy. The women in this film are extremely sexy. Like I said, Sybil Shepherd, she is amazing in this film, but 10 out of 10 beauty. Okay, there is full frontal nudity in the film, shot very tastefully, very artistically, and beautifully, showing this contrast of the beauty and natural beauty of youth, and how it is then corrupted by this ongoing machine that sort of the town and its older people represent. And there's these themes of fulfillment via sex through the characters. And Cloris Leachman plays the football coach's wife, and she ends up having an affair with Timothy Bottom's character, Jeff Bridges' best friend in the film. His name is Sonny, and he ends up having an affair with the coach's wife. And so there's these themes of exploring how older people live vicariously through the sex with these younger people, and how it's some sort of fulfillment. And when it actually, I was saying the film is so erotic and sexy, but when it actually comes down to the sex scenes in the film, and there are multiple sex scenes in the film where the characters are having sex, but it's not then done in an erotic, sexy way. It's clumsy, it's cold, it's void of passion. It's the act itself is an interesting mix and disappointment in a way that Bogdanovich captures masterfully in the sex scenes. So it's this you have this landscaping scenes shot in a very John Ford-like way. The cinematography of the town, the outdoor shots of the failing economy, the dust and dirt, and the barren landscape, in this bleak picture of this dying, decrepit town. And then you have this shot against just directly contrasted with this stunning stylistic beauty that's reminiscent of Fellini, cutting, stunning, contrasting black and white, beautiful way. And then that's juxtaposed against this John Ford-esque, very Grapes of Wrath-like portrayal of the dirt and the Dust Bowl, sort of that's just drying up all around these characters. And this isn't a film that's a rah-rah movie. Oh, Last Picture Show, we're going to throw it in, we're going to have a laugh. It's a slow film. It's a very symbolic film. It's a very relevant film to today. And as somebody who has traveled through the Badlands of Texas, the West Texas, the North Texas, the Plains states, where the high school sports team is really all that goes on there, and this transition where these places are just barren and empty. And yet the young, vibrant promise of life is growing up around that and is somewhat corrupted by that. It's just a very relevant piece. It's the Last Picture Show. I'll show you Sybil Shepherd on the back here, just for the hell of it, because she's fucking gorgeous. All the women in this film are incredibly gorgeous. There's one of the... You've got Ellen Bernstein, who plays JC's mom, Sybil Shepherd's mom. Absolutely, like I said, she's encouraging JC to use her sexuality for other reasons. But then we find out that she's involved in this relationship with an older man, and so there's this interesting contrast and dynamic happening. She's beautiful. Cloris Leachman is beautiful, but they're not beautiful in this like model-esque Saks Fifth Avenue kind of way. They're very plain, but still shot as sexy. So we get the hint of the sexuality and the attraction that's happening. And this is magnificent stuff here by Bogdanovich. This is one of the greatest films ever made. Certainly one of the most important American films ever made. And in one of the greatest scenes in really all of film history is the scene where Sybil Shepherd's character Jacy, she heeds the advice of her mother, and she attends this party with a character, a richer character, played by Randy Quaid of all people in a great little bit, but he takes her to this like little up and coming socialite party with more affluent kids, and they're all skinny dipping in the pool, and they initiate all their new people to the party, and Jacy participates in the initiation, which is you have to stand on the diving board and you have to strip down naked and in front of everybody, and that's how you're initiated into this group. And it's this really great, it's a beautiful scene, it's a sexy scene, but it's also very tugging and revealing, and it's up against these other contrasting themes of the film, and this is brilliant stuff. And anyway, The Last Picture Show, 1971, Peter Bogdanovich. Check this film out. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you soon out there on the highway. It's Jake.